I'm a millennial. I was born in the tail end of the 80s. I'm obsessed with 90s nostalgia and how it influenced who I am today. Some days I crave the simplicity of the 90s. Starting from the limited technology, I remember using TVs, VCRs, landlines to call my friends. That's it. That's all the technology that we had. Nothing made me happier as a kid than choosing a video to watch with my sister on a slow afternoon. We would go through the VHS tapes that we had. We would take them all out of this big drawer under the TV. They were big and clunky. We would pick one out, usually The Little Mermaid or Aladdin. We would pop it in the VCR. We would rewind the tape. And we would sit there watching this movie while eating snacks like Cheesies, Dunkaroos, and fruit roll-ups. When I got a bit older, I was very influenced by pop culture. Pop culture still positively flutters my brain. The way I absorbed pop culture was watching TV, my friends tell me what they saw on TV, and buying Teen People, Bop, and 17 magazine. I used to flip through the magazine with butterfly clips in my hair, get excited to learn that Nick Carter's favorite color was blue and that he loved to eat pepperoni pizza. I would plaster my bedroom walls with the images that I would cut out of these magazines or the posters that came with them. Spice Girls, Backstreet Boys, any cute guy that had spiky hair and frosted tips. When I think about Gen Zs, I feel like they missed out on all of that. They grew up without some of the things that I cherish the most. But of course, they have their own stuff that they look back on fondly. DVDs, the OC, Nintendo Wii, iPods, Guitar Hero, and some weird Good Charlotte type music. Welcome to House of Stone, the podcast where everyone has a story and we get into the nitty gritty of it all. Today we have Zak Kik. The wonderful Zak Kik. I have an intro for you.
Oh wow!
Yes, of course I do. You are a comedian here in Montreal, of course, a content creator, a producer extraordinaire. This natural talent comedian hit the OFF-JFL scene this summer on the Gen Z show. He also runs NDG Comedy in the Park, park show that runs in Girouard Park every summer. It's an amazing show that started the first summer of the pandemic, correct?
The second
summer, right?
Yeah. When everything kind of got lifted towards the end. No, I don't think everything was lifted, but it was when the Montreal Canadiens were in the playoffs. Okay. If that means anything to people. It was that summer.
Yeah, I feel like it means a lot to some people. He is beloved in the comedy scene. He's hardworking and a wonderful weirdo. Thank you so much for being here.
Hello.
I mean, you're always here, technically.
Oh, no, yeah. I'm almost contractually obligated to be here.
There's no contract. We don't have a contract. You are the producer here, editor of House of Stone. And I'm so happy to it's weird having you on this side of the studio. It's very odd. Today we have Poseidon over there.
If you notice that the cuts are actually done in regular places and the camera's not too jittery, that's because there's another person handling it.
No, you're very talented. I have no complaints. I have no complaints at all about what you give me. So
okay.
Okay. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I just don't know what's quality, but it seems what
I don't know what quality is either.
You're not selling yourself very well. You're very talented.
Oh, thank you. I like to talk shit about myself and then over deliver.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, that's a good method. Just be like, undersell. Yeah. And then everyone undersell, and then everyone is just pleased with how great it is. Yeah, for sure. So I invited you on this episode. I wrote this monologue about being a millennial because you are a Gen Z. You have amazing stories about being a child in the 2000s. I feel like we've had lots of talks about your experience as I don't know if it's being in the 2000s, being a Gen Z, or you had a weird life or interesting stories.
I don't know. I don't even know. I think my life is pretty regular, to be honest. My life is not that weird per se. Yeah, I don't know if I would consider it weird. I think maybe my choices in life were weird. But like I was given the default settings, you know.
Fair. So I talked a lot about the 2000s in my monologue and some nostalgia. What are some like early 2000s nostalgia that you miss?
Oh God, racism. I miss that. Mm-hmm. No.
I mean, racism happened in the 90s, the 80s, the 70s, the 60s, the 50s. So it's not just so.
Yeah,
yes.
but I feel like the early 2000s racism was different, you know? Like,
how did it hit different?
That post 9/11 like racism on the first internet racism, like we really kicked it in overdrive.
Oh yeah.
Like
we were working hard to be racist.
Yeah, we didn't have slavery, but we did have 4chan. So I don't know what I'm like nostalgic for. I think it is weird because I have an older sister.
Yeah.
So like she was kind of like she's 20. I think she's 5 years older than I am. So she's like 28 now.
Okay.
And like all her stuff was like from like the mid 90s.
Yeah.
Right. So almost like things she was trying to catch up on, I was also kind of listening. So I kind of like had like a good, I don't know, I don't like I guess like the late 90s and the early 2000s kind of blend together, you know? Like I remember using VHSs and stuff like that.
Oh, you do remember?
Yeah, I remember my dad had like cassettes in his car.
Okay. Okay.
We had like, and when I used to go to movie stores and stuff like that. I used to go to a Blockbuster. I still have my dad's Blockbuster like membership card and stuff like that. So I'm like at the tail end of like that nostalgia. I don't know. I don't know what I miss. Like I don't think I miss much.
No.
Maybe just like the simple things of like what everyone misses about their childhood.
Yeah.
There's not much I miss. Like even I don't know all this shit. Like because I grew up with the internet. Internet is getting better and better and better.
Yeah. See, I didn't grow up with the internet. Like the internet like came to be. Like I mean, I also like I got a computer in my home later as like a teen, just because like I just used whatever like at school. So like I grew up without the internet, without all of this information. Literally to get any sort of like information was like watching TV, like the news or like magazines. And like now it was just like, it seems like in the early 2000s, there was like just a flood of it that was like hitting kids and like everyone.
Yeah. I remember my first interactions with the internet were completely like, well, one of them was like, I think the first video I've ever seen on the internet was probably like it was 9/11.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
I think it might have been one of the first videos I saw on YouTube.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah, it has to be because I remember my friend like hey, I have to show you something. And go on like my family computer, and he shows me like literally just footage of like the planes hitting the towers.
And it was just like on. I mean, it's probably still on YouTube.
No, yeah, same exact videos. Probably even better now. We keep on finding good footage.
Do you Google that from time to time? The 9/11?
Well, every September, everyone drops like their little highlight tapes. You know?
Right. Oh, God, yes. Yeah, little highlights. That's awesome. That's not awesome, but okay.
Some of the first things I've ever seen on the internet were like oddly, like weirdly, like pornographic like Flash games too.
What's Flash games?
Like games that like Flash is like a program that people use to make like rudimentary animations in games.
Okay.
And basically like games that like a website can support. They're not very deep and they're not very like intensive. So like a website can host it.
Yeah.
So there'd be like a bunch of websites like Newgrounds or like MiniClip and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Where they would host like these small little games and sometimes like videos, and there'd be like the X-rated versions. It'd be like Batman gets stopped over by the police and now you have to fuck her or something like that. Or like Batman fucking the Joker.
I don't remember I don't know any of this.
Yeah, you're not funny.
Yeah, no, I guess not.
I remember my friend showing me like he went on we played this game. And it was like of like this rudimentary, like almost like a gingerbread looking like woman, and she was like naked.
A gingerbread looking woman?
Yeah, like it was a very like, you know, like very just like cartoony, like very basic. And she was like naked, but her vagina looked like a monkey's mouth. almost like a football and like the lines. It was like very basic.
Jesus Christ.
Like Homer Simpson's mouth, kind of.
See, this is what was like going into your brain as like a kid and teenager like that's a lot.
No, yeah, it was kind of weird. Like,
it's very weird.
Same guy, same kid, same friend showed me both those videos.
Okay.
Same person.
Are you still friends with this person?
Oh no, that person went down a different life.
What do you think their life is now?
Well, I kind of follow. He's a photographer now.
Is that like quotation photographer or an actual?
No, he's an actual photographer. He has some things about him that are kind of like. I feel weird talking about this because he's like a compulsive liar.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And one time, I don't know. Do you guys know who Juice WRLD is?
Juice?
Okay, Poseidon knows what Juice WRLD is. So Juice WRLD is like a rapper who died like 2 years ago.
Okay.
And then a week after he died, that guy was like my old friend was walking by and my neighbor kind of sees him. They're friends and like, hey, how you doing? It's been a while, whatever. And he's like, so how you doing? And he's like, oh man, I'm actually kind of like sad right now because my friend Jared died. He was like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, who's your friend Jared? Oh, actually, you might know him as Juice WRLD. He was claiming that
the famous rapper.
Yeah, he's claiming that Juice WRLD was his friend.
My bro passed away.
It's just like, you've been living LaSalle your entire life. How do you know Juice WRLD? That does not make sense.
Did he like commit to it? Like, no, I met him. Online. We DM each other.
He also told me because he showed me like Green Day. He was a big fan of Green Day, and he told me that Billy Joel Armstrong, his name is, or like the main guy of Green Day. He said that he came out to him first. Like literally, like the main guy of Green Day. I don't know if he's even gay or not, or bisexual or whatever.
I think he's bi.
Yeah, but he said he came out to him on the internet first when we were like 11 or 12.
That's hilarious.
Yeah,
that's so funny.
I know. Yeah.
Do you remember any other like lies? That's hilarious.
Yeah, one time.
There's so many.
I know we got so many.
Oh my god.
There was a Justin Bieber concert, and then like he said like after the concert, he like actually saw him outside, and they took a selfie together. And like, yo, so where's the photo? He's like, oh, it was on Justin Bieber's phone.
No, Justin Bieber wanted a photo of me.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't want a photo of him. That's so funny. That's so funny. I had a friend in high school that was like, I believe she was a compulsive liar too, just because like anytime I told a story, she would like always one up me. She's like, yeah, I have done that too, and blah blah blah, like just like one up it. And I was just like, you're such a fucking liar, and like I couldn't ever like prove her wrong. So it was just like, it's infuriating. It's so, I don't know. Maybe like teenagers have that in them too.
Yeah.
Do you think this person is better? Now that
the Juice WRLD thing happened like 2 years ago. Like,
right.
I don't even like. I don't know. I don't follow up with this person anymore.
Okay.
Like he seems to be doing successful in what he's doing, so that's fine. You know?
Okay.
No need to be a hater right now. He hasn't said it, and also like all the things he says is like low key hilarious. So like I can't be mad.
It is low, but it's sad that if he actually wants someone to believe it. It is sad.
If he's content with it, you know, like if he's happy with lying and everyone else is enjoying the lie, then like that's the same thing I'm doing on stage. I lie all the time.
We do lie a lot.
Yeah, I lie, people laugh, and everyone's like, ha 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 ha.
Yeah, but at least we know, like, I don't know. It's like he's doing trickery. He's like trying to like manipulate you, and it's just very unhealthy. But that's okay. He can live his life. He doesn't impact my life, so it's all right.
In his world, he's friends with Juice WRLD, and that's pretty cool.
In his brain, he's friends with Juice WRLD. So let him be happy. Let him be happy. Yes.
Is it okay if I speak?
No, you speak when you're spoken to, Poseidon.
What if it's just entertainment to him? Just to see who's gonna fall for it or who's gonna call him out.
I know that. No, that's what I do. I'm not even joking. I have a thing where like I like to fuck with people by like just going into like these weird lies and see if they believe it. But I always like let them know it's like fake after.
Eventually,
but I got that from him. Like just kind of like maybe subconsciously just kind of like see if these people actually could believe what I'm saying.
The difference is like you're being funny. What he's doing is a little psychotic.
No, but Juice WRLD being your best friend's kind of funny though.
Yeah,
that's kind of funny.
It is funny, but it's I don't know. There's something malicious about it, like being like, oh, I'm depressed, I'm mourning. It's weird. It's very very weird. But
talking about 9/11, I think.
talking about 9/11.
Well, because I know this is a vague. I don't know if this is actually like what he really did say, but I have a vague memory of him telling that his dad like jumped out the window, like he was in the towers of 9/11, and he jumped out the windows and he survived.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
I don't know.
So it started young. His lies.
Oh no! Like ever since I known him.
Yeah.
And we know each other since kindergarten.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so.
Okay. I wonder where he got it from. Maybe his dad saying that he jumped out of a window in the Twin Towers.
Yeah.
That's where it came from. It's like generational lies.
It could be. I don't know. He's got his own things going on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He was kind of obsessed with 9/11, but that's a Gen Z thing. I don't know.
It's a Gen Z thing. Do you think Gen Zs are impacted by 9/11 as much as millennials?
No one.
Nowhere near.
No. It's basically memes for us.
Yeah, it's just memes.
It is really. I think the death of Harambe probably meant more to us than 9/11.
Am I stupid that I don't know what Harambe is?
Harambe is probably one of the best memes of the last 20 years.
Oh, really? Can we pull it up?
Yeah, pull up Harambe.
Okay.
Can you please?
Okay.
Pull up Harambe memes, please.
I also wanted to ask, like, what do you think one of the most toxic traits that millennials have that you see it? Because you're around us all the time. You're one of the younger people in the comedy scene, and you're around us millennials. Oh, right. Of course.
The American flag and like the picture, that's amazing. I love that. So basically Harambe just like...
This is your 9/11 when he passed away.
So he was murdered.
He was murdered.
Because a kid jumped in and like he went to... And he grabbed the kid, so they murdered Harambe to save the kid.
Right. I remember this now.
But so like the meme is that...
Oh, wow. Wow.
It's a great meme because like I remember like when like Harambe died, there was like no memes about it. There was actual general sympathy and people like sad that he died and people overreacting.
Yeah.
And then a month later, people ironically like, oh no, yeah, dick's out for Harambe, like we miss him. And then it went back to be unironic where like people actually did miss this kind of monkey.
Yeah.
And I don't know, that's why I love it. And it lasted forever and it was just cute and it's just so funny. And every time a celebrity dies, that's where that meme is from. Like the celebrity getting added to the gates of heaven. That's like Harambe getting added to the gates. Like that's where it's from.
That's so funny. I mean, I remember the accident with him involved. I didn't follow the meme.
Not an accident, it's a tragedy. It was
Tragedy.
It's a plot by our government.
So back to the question, what do you think some of us millennials, a toxic trick that we have?
You guys keep on talking about being millennials.
Really? That's one of the toxic traits that we have?
Yeah, and you guys are like talking about boomers. I'm like, y'all just boomers light. Like, like chill out. You got like.
Fine, I'll change the topic.
And like it's weird because it's like like you guys are getting dicked over by like boomers, because they had good economic prosperity and you guys kind of got the tail end of that.
Yeah.
I forgot where I was going with this. No, but you guys like have like you talk the same way how my boomers talk about like technology changing.
It's true though. Well, because it grew so much.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like I'm sounding exactly like them, but like I don't know. Like now that I'm in my 30s, like I am like my parents, which is like looking back at like like my parents used to look back on the 70s when I was like in the 90s, and it's just like
well, if you think about it, like the technology between like the 90s and the 70s wasn't that different. But like the technology between now and the 90s is vastly different. It's crazy. It's insane. So like I kind of grew up with like landlines and stuff like that, and the internet was just getting good. Yeah. And like so I kind of grew up with a very fast evolving like technology thing. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And now it's like a lot of these, like I guess like even now, like I don't even know if I consider myself Gen Z because like I'm old. I'm too old to be considered Gen Z by a lot of people. Like a lot of people wouldn't think I'm Gen Z or whatever. Why do you think you're old to be Gen Z? I don't. Because people when they think Gen Z, they think of people who are like 16 to like 7. You know, so you're like elder Gen Z. They would call me a boomer. Like, they would call me a boomer, and you guys would call me a Gen Z. So I don't know where I fit in. I mean, you are who you are. I don't know.
I don't know. You're great who you are. You're allowed to identify with whoever you'd like to identify with.
You guys need to stop talking about being millennials.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll stop now.
Yeah,
we'll
please,
stop it now.
Please.
So let's talk about comedy. When did you get started?
That's a fun noise.
Go in. Do that for like 10 minutes.
I'm doing my lip trills actually right now. What do you mean by like stand up?
Yeah, when did you start stand up?
My first set ever was on 420 in 2018.
Okay.
I think. I was like, maybe it was in February of like 2018. I was like 18 years old, just about turned 19, and that was at like an event my club organized.
Oh.
Yeah, it was like called Open Stage Night, so anyone could do anything they wanted.
What club?
It was called Spotlight at Dawson.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they organized like an open like mic night type of thing, and I wrote my set, and it's the same set I did at the Comedy Nest.
Okay.
When because I was dating like Mason at that time, and like she was doing like stand up, and like she's done it like a little bit before I did.
Okay.
And then she's told me to do like hey, like go to the Nest, and then I just did the same set.
Okay.
And then the first person I met was like I think Lawrence Korber was like maybe like the host, and like he told me to move the microphone behind me when I go on stage.
Okay.
And then Sarag was there the first or second time. He told me about Grumpies and Shika.
Okay. Okay.
And then those are like the first two other shows I went to.
Oh, amazing.
Because I was in it since the beginning. Like even before, like as soon as I started stand up, I was like, I knew I was going to do like stand up eventually.
Really?
Because
I've heard you say that before. Like, how do you knew you were gonna do it eventually? Like,
I've always wanted to be a comedian, and like that was always like the thing I wanted to do, and I didn't know like how that was going to come through. Like, I wanted to be an actor. I wanted to make movies. I wanted to be a writer.
Okay.
I didn't like. I was doing improv. I was in theater. Like, everything was. I was studying cinema because I couldn't study like comedy.
Yes.
You know, if I was in Toronto, I could have went to Humber, but like if I went to Humber, I don't think I'll be this funny. You know? I think I'll be a little bit different. Shots fired at Humber.
That is shots fired. Wow. So who is like who was the first comedian that you saw like on TV or the internet that you're like, I want to do that? Like what put that in your brain at such a young person? I
think early on I guess I liked SpongeBob.
You like and
like
a good comedian, SpongeBob.
No, but like SpongeBob's got great writing.
It's funny.
And the first thing I ever wanted to be was to be a cartoonist. I always wanted to animate like cartoons and stuff like that. And
that's amazing.
So I would draw a lot. I was like pretty good at drawing. I have not progressed since then. Like the drawing level has stayed the same since I was like 6.
Okay,
which is saying something. That means like I was drawing Picasso when I was 6. Now I draw like a 6-year-old, but
and no one saw your talent at yours. Like look at this magic.
Oh no, people are like, yo, Zach's drawing some like goofy things. But
they didn't realize it was Picasso.
No, yeah, I was just but for
SpongeBob was your inspiration.
Well, kind of like I liked SpongeBob, and it was like I wanted to be funny, you know, and I always like imagined myself like always like. I always like kind of connected with like the side characters who were like their whole purpose is to be funny.
Yeah.
I always connected with those. Like Patrick was like my favorite, and like SpongeBob. In terms of like real comedians, Jeff Dunham.
Jeff Dunham. Oh wow.
Yeah, Jeff Dunham was the first stand-up comedian I ever saw.
I mean,
same, that guy there, like I was telling you about, like the 9/11.
Yeah.
Same guy showed me Jeff Dunham.
Okay.
Jeff Dunham, and then Russell Peters. And
Jeff Dunham.
Sugar Sammy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, Jeff Dunham like was kind of like he was very popular like 2004, 5, 6 or whatever. So like I get it that like that's if you're growing up at that time, like that's who you saw as a comedian for sure, and like didn't age well. Didn't age well.
Oh no. The Ahmed character.
Oh.
I like the idea of like a skeleton, but like now he's a terrorist at Bloom's. It's kind of funny, but like maybe as a gag, but like as a whole ass character, and it's like, and we know it's a white dude voice in this. It's not like there's a suspension of disbelief. His hands up his ass, like you know he's making that sound.
Yeah. So that was like your first, exposure to comedy. And you mentioned earlier that like you were you did everything else but comedy, like theater and stuff. So you started theater young too, right?
Yeah, I started in high school. Actually, if you want to go way back, I remember the first time I ever wanted to try stand-up was at like there was like a public pool near me, and I was like 7 years old, and they had a talent show.
Okay, at a public pool.
It was like not a public, it was like a private pool, I should say, like kind of like a club type of thing.
Was it Riverside?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How'd you know? Because Mike?
Because Mike, yeah.
That's so funny. Okay.
Yeah.
It was,
we go swimming in that pool in the summer still.
That's so funny.
Yeah, yeah. My boyfriend grew up in the same area as Zach.
LaSalle,
yeah.
LaSalle, bro. Texas.
So they like Riverside had this pool that like they used to put on like private. Like
they had like for the community, they had like talent shows and stuff like that.
Okay.
I forget what it was called. Mm-hmm. But I remember signing up and say I was gonna do stand up, and I didn't know what that meant.
Okay.
Like I never I wanted to tell jokes, but I just kind of chickened out and never did it again.
Okay.
But it kind of like from there, like I was just.
Mm-hmm. Did your family see that you were funny? Like, did you like?
Yeah, they always knew I liked comedy. Like,
okay.
I remember them buying me books about stand up and like comedy and stuff like that, and like improv, and like I got really good at improv.
Okay. Yeah. When did you start improv?
High school.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
like Sec 1. I was like, which is like grade 7. I was already on the senior team for like improv, just because I was the only junior who wanted to actually do improv.
Okay. Okay.
I did like theater, but before that, at Christian camp, they had like skits every night. And every cabin got to do like their own skit.
Okay.
And that was my favorite thing ever. Was just like like we'd be outdoors by a campfire, just a little stage with a little like white like background, and you would just do your skits. And they mostly would suck, to be honest. And there'd be like and there'd be like almost archetypes of skits, or almost just like classic skits that people would just redo or just do a flavor of.
Were they biblical if you're a Christian camp?
Not all of them. Like some of them, like a lot of them are tongue in cheek, you know? Like not all of them are biblical. But when I stepped into the game.
First, how old were you when you went to Christian camp?
I think 7.
7. And like, did you go for several years?
I went until I was 17.
Holy crap! Are you a religious person? Maybe a little.
At that time, for those 10 years.
Okay.
I went when I was 9 until I was 17. So it wasn't 10 years, but.
So your favorite part was like doing these sketches.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I got like. That's the only thing I cared about.
And it was sleepaway camp?
Yeah.
Okay, and it was for like 2 weeks during...
It was for 1 week, and then if you're older, it could be like 2 weeks, and then there was like a teen-only session that would happen for like 1 week, and that's basically like the all-stars of the entire summer.
Did you become the all-stars?
I was like, oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
I at one point I had like almost an Avengers level of like from my skits. Like I got cocky with the skits. I really liked them.
Yeah.
Like one time we just parodied everyone else's skits.
Really?
Like of that session.
So you would like parody like the different kids doing like the characters, or
like we see their skit, right?
Yeah.
And then we'd be like let's just do anti-comedy of like their skit. Like there's a skit where like a person passes around the box and they drink out of the box and it's like, oh, it tastes like orange juice. Oh, it tastes like lemons. And then like at the end the joke is like, oh, that's my box of puppies. You guys were drinking piss the entire time. But our version was like we would drink it. Oh, it tastes like dead puppies. And then the next person, oh, it tastes like dead puppies. And another person's like, oh, thank you for holding my dead puppies. And that was just a skit.
Okay.
And we would just parody everyone else's skits in one skit. I was like known for doing multiple skits within one skit. Like people would do like 5-minute skits. Mine were like 15, 20 minutes.
That's
like
hilarious.
I was like extending the time. I was running the light. One time I came up with 3 different skits for like one night, and all of them were bangers. Like,
oh really?
I still look back at them fondly.
Bangers.
Straight up bangers.
If only you could have filmed them. We could like have this content.
They are filmed.
They are filmed? Do you have this content that you could release to the world?
They're on my YouTube channel.
Okay.
There's one of them, only one of them. I think Zach Mingle is the only one that survived. and I tried to remake another one with my friends from high school, but it wasn't as funny as the skit on
Okay.
But anyways, look like to me it was hilarious, you know, and and the fun part was just trying to like get around like the Christianity.
Yeah,
like we did like dark things, like we did like a skit about like if like the Kool-Aid Man was actually just making a cult.
Okay.
Right. so like and like all these is basically like how to make Kool-Aid, and it'll start off like get your water, get your Kool-Aid, you know, get the candles, turn off the lights, get some friends, hail Satan. But we didn't say that. We like went around it, and like we couldn't say cult at Christian camp, but we can spell like CULT Kool-Aid. And it took them a while to get it.
Oh wow!
Like you can see like the program directors like kind of like think about it, like oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And then we were off stage by that time anyways.
Did you get in trouble? Just like, hey, I know what you're doing. Clever.
Only later on.
Okay. Do you have any I mean, you still create content like that. You still like you write sketches, like you put out videos, especially more lately. Like what inspires, like is this love starting like from when you were a kid, like just carried on till now? Is that like how you see it?
Yeah, I guess so. Like I always like making things. I always like videos. I grew up with YouTube.
Yeah, exactly.
I've been watching you. I don't even know how many hours I have for YouTube. I don't even need to know.
I don't think you want to know how many hours.
I think if you know how they say like 10,000 or was it 10,000 hours you master or something? I literally could like I probably have like I'm like probably like prestige 10 or some shit on like YouTube. Like I have like so many hours on that thing. Mm-hmm. It's insane. It's insane how much YouTube I watch. But that's like all my love for that is like because I like making videos.
Do you watch YouTube more than like any other streaming?
I watch YouTube more than anything else in the entire world.
Oh really?
Anything else?
Okay. What are the things that you're like? What are the rabbit holes that you're going down?
I could go on my YouTube history like right now.
Do we want to? Is this like
no? It's not that bad.
Scary. Okay.
Okay. So I was just watching. I just wrapped up a a 4-hour video documentary about a
4 hours.
Yeah, it was a 4-hour documentary about a park called Evermore.
Okay. Yes.
I'm gonna shout out this YouTube. Actually, no, I'm not gonna shout out this YouTuber. She already has 1 million subs. Fuck that.
Follow Zak Kik on YouTube.
Don't follow her. I'll send you the link though.
Yeah.
I watch I like documentaries. Like when people make documentaries on YouTube, I really like that.
I love a documentary. I love a good documentary. Like there's a lot of like content out there that doesn't grab my attention for more than like 5 seconds, but a documentary, like fuck me up with a documentary.
One of the best documentaries I've ever seen is by a YouTube channel called Defunctland.
Defunctland.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they basically just like talk about roller coasters and like theme parks and stuff like that.
Okay.
Which is so funny because like when I first started YouTube, like watching YouTube, the first thing I watched was like roller coaster videos, and now I'm still watching that.
Okay.
But like so he made this one documentary called The History of Disney's Fast Pass.
The history of Disney's
It's like 2 hours something.
Really?
And it's gripping.
Really?
It's so good. It's so good.
Oh my God.
I've watched it like 2-3 times.
What?
Yeah.
Why? Why is it gripping? Like,
because I don't know, the people know how to write a good story, and it's like,
I guess so.
It is interesting.
Like the fast passes, like those passes that you just like go past the line to the rides, right? That's what we're talking about.
It's deeper than that, though.
It's deeper.
It's way deeper. Like,
all right.
If I could just hit the synopsis really quickly.
Okay.
Disney first started, you know, like the expression that something is e-ticket. That's an e-ticket attraction. Mm-hmm. That's because like when Disneyland first started, they had like different like levels of attractions. You buy tickets for those attractions and whatever. And then they started like got rid of that, and I think they added the fast pass, where you would like basically get a time and a reservation that you can go into line, and then you basically get on like the ride.
Okay.
But then there was like some complications with that. Like they started introducing like they like if you had a hotel like in like the park, you could like you get unlimited fast passes.
Wow.
Or like and like only people like usually a regular person can only use 2, and it basically created different like just
levels
levels, but also like it fucked up everyone because then there'll just be lines everywhere.
Yeah.
And then like some rides that shouldn't have a crazy line have a crazy line.
You've paid money to get this express pass, and then like okay.
And then how they fix that issue and how the issue kind of still remains now. I think now
I love how intrigued you are by this. Now I'm hooked. Now I need to watch this.
I don't know how I don't know why I even care. Like I went to Disney World twice only, dude. I've never. I don't give a fuck about LaRonde.
Yeah.
I learned from that YouTube channel that LaRonde actually has the worst rated roller coaster in the entire world.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? I have only been.
No, and just like it just fucking
Just
sucks.
worse. They just suck.
It gives you like whiplash, and it's just not fun. I forget which one it was, but it's like a very like vertical, kind of like flat, and it used to be called like Green Lantern something.
Yeah.
But it's called something now, in like maybe like the Joker or some shit like.
Okay.
And like, but anyways, we have that right now. It fucking sucks.
Okay. I've been to LaRonde maybe like twice in my life. I'm not like a big like roller coaster person. Are you like a roller coaster person?
Kinda.
But you're really into learning about express passes.
I'm into YouTube, okay? And whenever it's on YouTube, I watch.
Okay. Well, you watch a video of someone on a roller coaster on YouTube.
I also watch this guy. I think his name's his name's Steve, and he has a YouTube channel where he just goes camping.
Just goes camping.
Yeah.
Is it just like raw footage of him camping?
Yeah, he brings his cameras and stuff like that, and usually it's stealth camping. Like he's camping in places where he can't camp. And the funny thing is like no one gives a fuck, right? No one cares. Like if you go camping in like a foresty area, 300 feet from everyone else.
Yeah.
But like he like just invested in like this really stealth camping stuff, and it's just like. It is.
Does he have a lot of followers and like views? Wow.
He's like so earnest and so wholesome, and
Yeah.
it's just like a hobby for him, and it's just like so nice. And recently, his wife died like a few months ago.
Oh,
and that
RIP.
was sad. That was sad. Like
they used to go camping together.
She would drop him off a lot of the time. Usually, you go solo. You go solo camping a lot of the time.
Okay, I get it. All right. You grew up in this like content creation like time, and you do a lot of content creation yourself. What is your like when you make a sketch and you film a sketch? Like, what is your inspiration behind that?
Usually I don't know. Like I think I just get like I'm always kind of like looking for like an excuse to make a video.
Yeah.
So as soon as I get an excuse, like I'll be like, okay, no, that's a good idea. Let me like turn it into a video.
Okay. Do you like write it out, or you just like kind of?
So depending on what the skit is, like sometimes I draw them out. Like I would like
draw them out.
Yes.
Okay. Wow.
Like I'd storyboard it so I know like what I have to shoot. So it's just an easier shoot for me, and like I can just get it really done quickly. And that's why all my videos are kind of short, because I just like, oh, that's a good excuse. Let me just literally just make a 30-second video.
Okay.
Like one time when like Sarag lost his cat. And
that was such a funny video.
But like that was based on him losing his cat.
Yeah.
And then we're like, because we thought he jumped out the window. And like we're all like, how do we know he actually jumped out the window? And I was like, oh, there's a little makeshift rope. And it's kind of fun. It was like funny to me because but like he also just like we also thought he lost his cat. And we were looking for 7 hours.
Yeah. I mean, you made the video after the whole events happened, and
like
after they
4
found the
days
cat. So it's all was Sarag like hesitant to film this sketch because he was so like, I mean, he was sad about like almost losing him.
Yeah, but he found the cat. It was
Yeah.
in the back of someone's drawer.
I know.
Like a sock.
I know.
Like a sock or t-shirt you lost.
Yeah.
And it's a big cat. Like I don't know how the fuck he got back there.
I don't know. Like Sarag just told the story here, and like it is a hilarious story. Imagine losing your animal for 7 hours and the fucking thing is in a drawer. Like I would throw the cat away.
And he's loud. He's not like
I would be like,
cat.
we're done. Like me and you, cat, we're done because you just put me through 7 hours. That's not worth it. I would never love a cat.
What's the cat's name?
Stevie.
Yeah. Steven, as I call him.
Steven. Going back to comedy for a bit. So you started in 2018. That was your first set at Dawson. You were studying there. Did you do, like you said, you did that set again at the Nest? Did you did you try new material the next time? Like, how did your set evolve in the first like few months?
Okay, so I think my set evolved because like usually a lot of my jokes are my friends say something funny and then I write that down.
Yeah.
and then I go say it.
Yeah.
Like, so my first joke I ever wrote was about like wanting to kiss my dad on the lips. And like I would just start to set off, be like literally like, hello.
Yeah.
I want to kiss my dad on the lips.
Did it land well the first time you did
my God. Like, I don't know. I was getting laughs. I don't know if it was killing or not.
Okay.
Like relatively, but it was working for a bit. But also it kind of like made me stick out.
Okay.
You know, like I like
it gave you the confidence to go forward for sure.
Yeah, I like that. Like my joke was weird. I made a joke about like, you know, like I want to kiss my dad on the lips. Not like in like an incestuous gay way, like more of like kind of like an Italian way. You ever see The Godfather?
I have seen The Godfather.
Incredible gay movie.
Very homosexual movie.
Yeah, that's basically what the whole entire joke was. I just called The Godfather gay.
That's what it is in your notebook, Godfather gay.
Yeah, but like in a good way. You know? And it's funny to me because then it'd be like Italians would be like, it's not gay. I'm like, you have a problem with the Godfather being gay? Like, come on.
How long was that bit? Was it like a couple minutes or
like
was
30 seconds?
30 seconds? Okay.
My first sets were 3 minutes because I didn't have 5 minutes of material.
Okay.
And I was terrified of getting played off at the
Yes.
Nest.
Yeah.
They made that a huge threat.
They still do. I see them sit like, I mean, Mason, if she's at the door, will be like, do not go over 5 minutes. And they've actually played me off once. And like, this was in the last 6 months. And I was livid because I was yeah, I know I was like going over a little, but I was so close to wrapping up. And then I talked to the tech guy and he's like, yeah, you're at like almost 6 minutes. I was like, I was barely over. And you like, anyways, it's fine. I love
That's
the Nest.
why
It's all
a
good.
comedian running the tech because then you know when the joke ends. Hot take.
We love the Nest. Please keep booking us.
Yeah,
That's fine.
Yeah, please keep booking us. I'm just saying, maybe I don't know, maybe get a written copy of everyone's jokes. I don't know, so don't play them off.
I remember seeing you on stage for the first time. It was probably the summer, like maybe the first few months that you started. I remember you and Mason like pretty new at it, and you went on stage and you handed out papers. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I brought a briefcase.
I think you were. Fernando was there. You handed out paper with like your contact just to make friends. I think the bit was like to make friends. You like handed out like that's a hilarious bit.
I forget what even the joke was, but I was just like, I'm trying to make friends. Just pass this.
Yeah.
Oh, I think it was because like it was like for the Wednesday, right? And it's like you bring your friends on Wednesday. And I'm like, what if I just made everyone my friend? So I just passed them out. I'm like, please vote for me. I think that was what it said on it. It was like my phone number, my email.
I think
vote.
you did win that Wednesday.
Oh, dude, I crushed it that year.
Yeah.
I won like 8 times that year.
Yeah. You've won. I mean, the Comedy Nest here in Montreal does Comedy Lab Wednesdays where like the comedian writes a theme, like a joke in line with the theme, and then the audience votes like the best. And yeah, you've won a lot.
Never back to back.
Okay.
I couldn't defend it.
Okay. I remember there's a few that have like won back to back, I think.
I won. I stopped Akeem from breaking the record. That was the first time I won.
Oh, really? What was the record that Akeem had?
I think he was trying to go for 3 or 4.
I heard that Joshua Clark did like a 10-week like stint once.
Was that the Nest or the Works?
I think it was at the Nest, but it was Peter that told me it, so I assume it was like there.
Okay, then mind. But I never like dethroning Akeem.
Oh,
because he was going for 4 or something or 3. And then just whatever.
And you took him down.
Exactly.
Good for you. That's amazing.
I forget the joke was. I remember like writing some weird jokes.
Yeah, I
wrote jokes about Street Fighter. Street Fighter. Comparing Street Fighter, I swear to God, comparing Street Fighter and the different versions of Street Fighter to hummus and baba ganoush.
You mean they're very similar?
Okay, so let me get this. So Street Fighter
they're both dips. They're both dips. You both eat them both with pita. Mm-hmm. but they do taste different. They do be tasting different.
I have like I write like when I write jokes, I write like almost branches of jokes. So like I have okay. So like let me just get this down.
Yeah.
So baba ganoush and hummus. I always consider them like almost like brothers, kind of like sequels to each other, right?
Yeah, yeah.
They're not the same, but they're not different.
Yeah.
Street Fighter is kind of like that, where Street Fighter has a bunch of different like variations. There's Street Fighter like Turbo, Street Fighter Alpha, 1, 2, 3. You know, like a bunch of different versions of different surnames. It always reminded me of like how hummus always has like hummus like with like roasted garlic, roasted pepper, like za'atar. I remember like one time there was like chocolate hummus, and I wrote like a big bit about like I think it was like blueberry hummus. And I was like, they're gentrifying hummus. That was my breakout bit. Before Craft Singles.
This hummus
walked so Craft Singles could fly. That's literally how it works. I was known as the hummus guy from the beginning.
The hummus dude.
Yeah,
the hummus dude of comedy. Yes. That's how I know you.
Still love hummus.
Hummus is the best.
No, yeah. When I remember when I started losing weight when I found out what hummus was. I was like, oh shit, they made mayonnaise but good.
And healthy and not full of fat and has protein in it and is delicious.
No, I'm not even joking. I would eat hummus with a spoon.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh, hummus is crazy.
Yeah. Would you eat mayonnaise with a spoon? Ew.
I wouldn't say I would, but I have.
Let's talk about some of the shows that you're involved in, because you are a hustler. You work really, really hard. You do. Don't give me that look. You do. You run NDG Comedy in the Park every summer, which is a fucking killer show. It's a really cool. Like the summer that you started, literally you had more audience members than most of us.
I was the only show going on for a bit.
Yeah. But you pulled an audience. Like a lot, like people in NDG and the surrounding areas definitely came out because it was in a park, right? So like
there was also no capacity limits.
Yeah.
So every show could only have like 20, 15, 30 people, right?
Yeah, depending on the size of the room.
And I was pulling a minimum at least 35 people.
Yeah.
And sometimes 100. And I was just like, I felt like a boss. Like I was like killing it.
You were.
And like, I don't think we reached like, I think of maybe our first show, we had 100 people for this year, but we consistently stayed around 40 people.
Oh, wow.
Which is like, for a weekly show,
it's really good.
40 people is crazy.
It's really good. And you have a lot of people that come back every week. So that says a lot. Where like, you know, you're pulling these good comedians and they're just enjoying themselves on a Saturday. It's really, really fun. What inspired you to start this? Was it because of the lack of shows happening?
Okay, so here is the real hot gossip.
Yeah.
I was at my first show back from the pandemic at Melrose.
Yes.
I did well. And I was like, nice, cool. And like some French comedians walked by, and because like the windows open to Melrose, so they actually heard the stand-up. They stopped by and I started talking to them. And they said they ran shows. I'm like, oh, really? He's like, oh yeah, we run shows in the park. And I was like, oh shit. I'm like, yeah, we have one every single day of the week.
Every single day.
Yeah, it's like a circuit they do.
Oh wow!
And
do they still do it?
I think so. I think so. I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
But I remember them saying like, oh, we have these shows. Like follow us on Facebook, because I was like, oh, I was kind of interested. And I was like, almost like I like the idea of like doing it in the park. And I just went to one of their shows, and it was in Hochelaga, and there was 300 people there.
Holy shit!
It was
my God.
It was in a baseball field, and the whole entire outfield was full of people.
That's insane.
And it wasn't like they're bringing in their big guns. Like maybe they had like some like good French comedians, but essentially like if we just got some of the better comedians in Montreal just together on a Saturday.
Yeah.
They had 300 people out, and like they had like it was also kind of cool because the neighbors liked it, so the neighbors actually let them use their electricity. So they ran like a big ass extension cord to run everything.
That's amazing.
And then I was also inspired by like because the Montreal Canadiens were in the playoffs. These people in NDG were like showing the playoffs in the park.
Yeah, on a screen. Yeah,
and like a bunch of people, like 100 something people would come to those. So and then they got shut down by the police.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, and I was like,
I didn't know that.
And I was like, oh my gosh, like the Saturday thing to do is gone in the park, and I was like, time to
take over.
Time to steal something from the French people. and give to the English. I'm like the Robin Hood Quebec hates.
Yeah, I mean, it's super fun. Are you going to continue it next summer, you think?
Oh, 100%.
100%.
I have no doubt in my mind. I want to do a few more adjustments.
Okay.
Like I want to have like just kind of like work on quality, kind of like keep it tighter. I was kind of very loose on who could be on the show. I still want to keep it like the open, like anyone can do it, but kind of like keep it to only like one or two like real open micers.
Yeah.
And then try to keep it like consistently a good show because then I want. Because I did see
it's good to evolve and like evaluate for sure.
I want music to play in between acts and possibly figure out a way to get a stage just by like bringing a like a palette and just like putting wood on it and like so just you're a little bit elevated.
That's commitment though, because you have to drag that from your home.
That's the thing. That's the only issue. But anyways, that's
you'll figure it out. That's
neither
next
here nor
problem.
there.
Question: is your goal to get
Jay Baruchel?
Yeah.
Okay, this is an open invitation to Jay Baruchel. This is this portion of the episode. Jay Baruchel. I know you don't know me. Well, actually, maybe you know me on Twitter as the guy who
you
tags
do tag
me.
Jay Baruchel a lot.
Yeah, I might be the only person who does that.
Yeah,
if they're not talking about hockey,
unless it's maybe Seth Rogen, but
I don't know about that. Maybe they probably just like text each other. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know the relationship.
I mean, Seth Rogen doesn't need to be tagging him.
I don't care about his relationships with any other like comedians or whatever. What I care about is that he is from NDG.
He does. He is from NDG. Think he still owns a home in NDG.
I don't know. We don't. I read his book like about like hockey.
He has a book.
It's about hockey in Montreal and stuff like that.
Okay.
And I actually kind of related a lot to it because he's an Anglo from Montreal, and like I kind of like related a lot to that.
Okay.
But he lives in Toronto now. Don't blame him. But I want him to come back because like I want him to like force him to give me the torch. Of being like the iconic Anglo comedian from Montreal.
Yeah.
Even though he's like more of like an actor / host.
Yeah.
But he's still been in some funny things. He's a funny guy.
But yes, you want this NDG Anglo Montreal
to come here and like give me the thing. Like just be like, hey, I see this. I respect it. Thank you for doing this for NDG.
Yes. Yeah.
Because I think he would love it.
I know he would love it.
I was thinking about...
So tag Zach and Jay Baruchel on all social media and get them connected. If anyone listening knows
preferably during the summer, so I have something to show him.
Starting in June, start tagging him.
No, May. We start the shows in May.
We'll re-release this episode in June and make sure it happens.
Yeah.
Or people put it in their calendars. Put in their calendars, set an alarm, a notification, and be like, oh, now I have to start harassing Jay Baruchel.
Also, if you don't know who Jay Baruchel is, which a lot of people don't know.
I mean, they will.
Popular mechanics for kids for the millennials. Yes. You guys like that. Yeah. He was in The Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Yes.
He was in This Is the End.
Yes.
He wrote, and I think he wrote Goon. He directed the sequel, Goon, Something of the Enforcers.
Yeah. He was in many
he hosts
Seth Rogen movies.
Like the Montreal, like the Canadian version of like Last One Laughing.
Okay.
He did like he's hosting a bunch of stuff now. Anyways. And also the main reason why, because his thing on Twitter is Jay Baruchel NDG. And I'm like, I don't know if you can still have that NDG if you don't come and like kiss the ring of the new prince. You can't like.
Yeah, he's lost the NDG title in his name, but he still has it. I don't know. I think we can make it happen. Let's make it happen.
Yeah, I'll see you, dog. I live on Monkland. I'll see you around, dog. I'll see you walking up those streets.
Yeah. He when he did live in NDG, he used to buy, I think, dog food from Doghouse, which is on Shadow Doghouse on Sherbrooke. It's a pet supply store. My cousin works there. So maybe if you hang out there's a cafe there. But if he doesn't live here anymore, he's not going there. But
this might sound psychopathic, but like I remember he detailed like where like his house, like the details of where his house was.
Okay.
And I've triangulated it, and I think I figured out where it was.
That's hilarious. It's not psychopathic. It's fine. It's totally fine. So we do have to wrap up.
What?
What? I know.
There's like so many other YouTube videos I could tell you about. So many other YouTube documentaries and like Jay Baruchel calls.
So many more. I mean, you hear every episode, so you can bring more up on other episodes.
Oh, that's fact.
Yeah. So we always wrap up with 2 questions.
Mm-hmm.
What is the hardest thing that you've ever been through?
I didn't think about this one. Honestly, there's very like. I don't know if it's the hardest things because it's just like I feel like I'm a very like forgiving person, and just also I forget a lot of things. So like a lot of the pain I kind of like acknowledge, but it just I don't know if it's just like my mind or something or whatever, but like pain and stuff like that kind of like I put it past. I kind of like move on.
Yeah. I mean that's a eventually good thing. Yeah.
So like it's kind of hard to be like what is the hardest thing because relatively to a lot of people like. Like I can't say there's been a lot of hard things in my life, you know.
Okay.
Like I have great parents.
Okay, that's great.
Maybe they didn't always agree with me and stuff like that, or maybe they weren't always the best parents, like or maybe I didn't always see them as the best parents, or like I didn't have a trouble in high school or anything like that. But I think the one that sticks out to me was kind of like being in high school and kind of like I don't know, like. Kind of just being in high school and kind of like having like pains of like feeling unloved.
Yeah.
Like I had like this huge crush on someone in like a Christian camp.
Okay.
And she was my best friend. We're really good friends now, but I had a huge crush on her. And I found out she started dating like a person I looked up to, like my one of my camp counselors.
Wow.
Another person I looked up to like comedically too, right? And like and that like crushed me because I had kind of like
heartbroken,
a lot of inferiority complexes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so that kind of fucked with me for a long time.
Yeah.
It took me a long time to get over that. Like almost the entirety of high school to truly get over that. And I never like just being
heartbreak as a teenager it fucks you. Like I would
cry myself to sleep a lot of the nights, and that's facts. I make jokes about it, but like that was the reality for a lot of the times.
Yeah. Because you also like this is the first time you're experiencing heartbreak. Yeah. So like you don't know how to put these feelings. And
it wasn't even real heartbreak though, you know? It was just like...
It is. I feel like it is heartbreak to a certain extent. Like, well, when you are older, you do experience a different level of heart. It's just different. It's very different, but it still fucking hurts for sure.
Yeah, and I was just depressed severely depressed for a long time. Like,
okay.
And like at the point where I would go to I went to go see like a school therapist, and and I wanted to seek out help, but like the therapist wasn't there that day, but the school like guidance counselor was. And we just started talking to kind of like figure out what was happening, but I didn't want to talk to her because she wasn't the therapist.
Yeah.
She has no she can't she didn't sign a contract to say she can't talk to anyone else besides this.
Yeah.
And like I know who she is, and I don't know if she's gonna tell other fucking people.
Yeah.
So we just kind of talked about like how I was sad. I was keeping it vague, you know, because I didn't want to tell her anything. And then we started talking about like musicals because I like musicals. And then I think she was like insinuating that I was secretly closeted. And that's why I was like going to see the therapist because I was like secretly gay, and she was like really pushing it towards that.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that's very odd.
Yeah, and that also stopped me from going to see a therapist.
Okay, yeah,
I didn't because she like I was like I'm never gonna go fucking try it again because if that girl's there, I'm not. I don't want to fucking.
That's
see
awful.
Her. Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry you went through that. That's so hard. Heartbreak is very hard.
That technically like the hardest thing, but like there's probably been more things that actually stung more, and things are like a little bit more dark and depressing. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, we definitely don't have to go into it if you don't want.
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. Well, we'll go into the last question.
I smoke too much weed to like think about that. Like I don't have any memories.
Fair enough. So the last question we end with is what is the thing in life that are you most passionate about?
Roller coaster documentaries.
No. Bar none. Best. Top.
I thought like at one point I thought about it was comedy.
Yeah.
Right. And it is something I'm like one of the most things I am like most passionate about. But I think something above all else that kind of like supersedes that is being different.
Being different.
And standing out. And standing out. I think that's like my passion. Like I'd never want to like look like someone. I never want to sound like someone else.
Yeah.
There's sometimes where I like a comedian too much that I'll stop watching their specials because I don't want to become like them. I'm like, okay, cool. I enjoyed their specials. I'm not gonna rewatch them because I don't want to get that too much ingrained in me because I don't want to sound like them.
That's really great, though. I think that's a good thing to be passionate about. Just be yourself.
It's a little toxic because I have like an individuality complex. So as soon as like I'm like as soon as I'm matching with someone else, I'm like, oh, I'm fucked. Like I'm like, oh, I'm unoriginal. I'm like, I start hating myself.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, I think you are very unique. You're an individual. You're different than anyone else I've ever met, and that's why I adore you. I think you're great.
Gang.
Well, thank you again for being here. We have to wrap up. You're an amazing guest. Thank you for being here every time we record. Amazing producer, editor. I'm so lucky to have you.
Hey, thank you. I'm lucky. Thank you for having me on. It's very fun.
No problem. We'll have you on while you're here every week. But we'll have you on again as a guest for sure. I want to thank our funders, our sponsors, Pantelis Studio, Poseidon, who's here today. I want to thank you again. Fernando and all the listeners, please like, subscribe, go to our website, House of Stone Podcast. You'll find all the links there. And thank you so much.
Thank you.